Chad Myers is here. He's our meteorologist, and he joins us now to talk more about this and to explain to me and our viewers the arcs, right?
Yes.
These are not the flight paths. So how are investigators coming up with these directions?
It's a ping from a satellite. It's called Inmarsat. It's an in-flight entertainment satellite or sat phone that pinged the plane, and it found the plane somewhere along an arc at 8:11 a.m. Don. That's it. The plane started out Banda Aceh, turned to the left over here, it probably flew here, and then turned on up toward Bangladesh. All it had to do to get to that line is get to that line at 8:11. It could have been here, it could have been here, it could have been anything. This was not how the plane flew. It only had to get somewhere along this arc there or along this arc there by 8:11 a.m. That's all it means. It could have been here, it could have been here, somewhere along that arc. Why do we think that? Well, okay, here's how it all went. There's a satellite out in space called Inmarsat over the Indian Ocean. It pinged the plane. It found the plane at 8:11 a.m., but it doesn't have triangulation. It just knows how far away the plane was. And so it knows what angle the plane was away. If I erase this little dunce cap here, it turns into a circle. That circle is on the globe itself. So now we know the plane is somewhere on that circle. Well, now we can start eliminating a couple things. We eliminate this side of the circle because literally the plane couldn't fly there that fast, and it probably didn't have enough fuel to get there. So now we've got rid of half of that circle. That's great. Now we get back over here toward Banda Aceh and toward Malaysia. We're going to get rid of all this right through here. That's gone because there's radars in there. So now all we have is this, and all we have is this. And so they know that it's either on the northern side or on the southern side. Doesn't mean it flew that path. It means that somehow, at some point in time, at 8:11, this plane got there, or somewhere along that path. Now, what they're talking about, more likely, down to the southern path. And I believe the U.S. on this because there's probably more than one ping. If there was an 8:11 ping, there was probably a 7:11 ping. There was probably a 6:11 ping, a 5:11 ping, and they could follow those pings as the plane moved. Not convinced. We don't know yet. They're still analyzing the data. If we had more than one satellite, this would be over. Done over, absolutely no problem. If we had 2 satellites, 3 satellites, we would have triangulation, and we would know that that plane is exactly right there. But when you only have one satellite, you don't have GPS. You just have G. You don't get the other 2, so you can't get a good, solid spot. It's when your car can't find yourself because you're in a tunnel, your GPS doesn't work.
I have a question for you, which sort of came up, and then it just cements it because I got it from a CNN producer. Thank you very much. Julian Cummings says, you have to ask your panel this, or one of our experts. If they went south and ditched the plane, why wait 7 hours to do so? If this plane was a ditch and suicide plan, wouldn't it have been done much sooner or right away? I think that's a very good question.
I just don't get it. They flew the plane left. They made an evasive maneuver. They were trying to get out of radar sight. They were going high. They were going low. You know, radar only goes in a straight line, and the Earth doesn't. The Earth curves away. Radar goes straight out. By the time that plane was 200 miles from a radar, that radar was shooting way over the top of that plane, and they knew it. These guys, whoever flying that plane, were experts. I don't believe this was on any random autopilot, whatever. Somebody in here knew what they were doing to evade these guys, to evade the radars, to evade the military, to evade the secondary radars by shutting off the transponder. I believe we're going to find this plane in one piece.
You do?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
As far as the fantastical and speculation theories from someone who I respect very much said, you know, I have a perspective to share with you, Don. The whole fantastical scenario could also be applied to a lot of things that happened, including 9/11. Nobody thought flying planes into a building could possibly happen until it happened.
And what would this plane be used for if it is in one piece and in the hands of some bad people?